Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. I wanted to do a video today talking about my silver stack, where I'm getting it, how I'm getting it, what I'm paying for it. Talk to you about those retailers and give you some feedback on the services I've received from them and my level of um, the experience that I've had through those retailers, and just a bit of my future outlook on price prediction for silver, as well as when I might be considering liquidating some of this. So, in short, I've gotten my silver from, I guess, 4 different sources. Some of it's been a gift, like this guy right here. It's a $5 Royal Canadian Mint silver coin, 449 coin, bald eagle, and it's carrying a salmon there from 2014. It's beautiful. It's a gift from somebody. And this was my first coin, which I love and actually got me excited about silver in general. This is I think they're called Morgans. It's a U.S. silver coin, and it is, I think it's beautiful. Plus the historic importance and antiquity of this thing blows me away. See that? It's from 1887. That's 20 years older, 20 years younger than my country, Canada. It blows me away that a coin might be that old. And I know if you're European, Canada is a young country, but 1887, that coin has been circulating, passed down from generation to generation, buying goods and services as a store of value and a medium of exchange and a record of account for so long. It just blows me away. And so I bought that actually at Pawn Stars, the pawn shop in Las Vegas, a few years back with family when I was traveling there for some fun for my mom's 50th, I think it was. And as you can see, I've picked up some other things that you guys have not seen. I've got 10 1-ounce Troy 999 fine United States. I think they're called Indian head rounds or buffalo rounds. I was trying to Google that to see, and I think I saw some people calling them Indian heads, and I saw others calling them buffaloes. I don't know what is the common nomenclature, but if you guys know, put it in the comments below for my future reference. I think they're quite nice. I bought these from Gold Border Corp, which is in White Rock, BC, and there's also one in, I think, Bellingham or Blaine or something on Washington side. I think these were circulation rounds issued by the U.S. federal government, if I'm not mistaken. No, from 2011. Sorry, that wouldn't be the case. I don't know. I don't know the history of this. If you guys do, let me know. And Sunshine Minting, you guys saw me buy those ones. That was my first unboxing. Got 20 of those puppies. Really nice. I like them. This is the front face, and that's the back. And then I got a 10-ounce bar from the Royal Canadian Mint, which I know some people don't like federal mints, and they don't like, they don't want the Queen, they don't want anything to do with government minting, but I just thought it was nice. And it was $210 Canadian, which is a fair price. Pretty close to spot, not exactly, but pretty close. And this guy is a 10-ounce bar from silvergoldbull.ca. And that was fine, or sorry, that was spot. So if you want to get some spot silver, check them out, silvergoldbull.ca. And if you're in White Rock, BC, check out Border Gold Corp. These were $21 Canadian per ounce, which is $210 per 10. Same price as that one. And they came from the same place. And yeah, the silvergoldbull.ca, they'll charge you $20 for shipping unless you have 500 or more. So keep that in mind. But if you're going to order 500 or more, you can really get a good deal by adding one of those spot bars to your package. You can only get one per order. And then these guys will charge you $30. That's again gold, Border Gold Corp. They'll charge you $30 for FedEx. But if you're anywhere near White Rock, just swing by and have a peek. They've got a pretty decent selection of gold and silver. So that's the coins I got these days, and I'm hoping to continue adding to it. I'm on a journey to 1,000 ounces, and if you've watched any of my content, I think you'll know why. But just for anybody who's not seen my stuff, I just want to share a bit of the background as to why I buy silver at all. The first thing is that I think it's woefully undervalued today. It's in about a 7-year bear market since about 2011, when it's been falling pretty well since. And anything that's been in a bear market that long deserves a little love. And so I think we're going to get a bull market. I don't know if it's going to come tomorrow, but I'm anticipating a silver bull market within the next 5 years. And that's just looking at the technical analysis and saying to yourself, like, wow, it's been a long bear market. The other thing is that the silver to gold ratio is just really brutal. Right now it's about 84 ounces of silver will buy you 1 ounce of gold. And historically it's been average 20 ounces for one. And so I really think that there's going to be a regression to the mean on that. And you can anticipate an overshoot when it returns to the normative state. So I'm expecting probably 15 ounces to 20 ounces of silver will get you an ounce of gold. And so that makes silver, in my mind, a good investment. And I know some people will say silver's not an investment because it doesn't pay a dividend. I think that's garbage. It is a store of value. It's a place to put your money where you've got thousands of years of history telling you it's going to carry value into the future. That's good enough to me. In fact, I would challenge any fiat lover, any stock buyer, to assert the same position. They can't. Fiat dollars always fail and will always fail because governments get greedy. They do deficit spending. They print more money than they have and more money than they're capable of paying back. And then the fiat dollar dies and they come up with some other fiat dollar. It's happened before and it'll happen again. And so that brings me to my next argument for silver. I really believe that I already invest in the normal state of affairs substantially. What I mean is I own a home, I have a job, I theoretically have a pension coming. I have life insurance, and all of those things are essentially a bet on the fiat world, the Canadian dollar continuing to thrive well into my distant future. If the Canadian dollar thrives and the Canadian economy continues to do as it's been doing for the last 50 years, 100 years, everything going up, all assets going up, then my house is going to go up and my pension is going to get paid because their investments in stock, and because my pension is invested heavily in stock portfolios, and that pension will be there. So guess what? I have bet heavily on the fiat world succeeding just by way of being an employed individual. And so this silver is a what if the worst happens type situation. What if the fiat dollar does fail? And I think it's likely, but just being I think as reasonable as possible, just saying what if? Well, then this is here, and I'm going to have this wealth that I can pass along to my family that's been proven to store value for thousands of years, and for hundreds of years at least, we've seen on our continent this being passed back and forth. So that's why. And so I don't think about, it's about $14.70 per ounce of US dollars today for a troy ounce of silver. But I don't generally think to myself, like, what is the US dollar value of my coins, or what is the Canadian dollar value? I don't really care what the fiat value is. I care what the gold to silver ratio is. And if it was to approach 20 ounces of gold or sorry, 20 ounces of silver per 1 ounce of gold, I would trade. I would sell some of my, I would liquidate some silver to get into some gold. Alternatively, if silver, if what I expect to happen happens, then with the banks and the government and the fiat dollar failing, then I would anticipate the housing market to crumble, where valuations would fall, would disappear, because if there are no banks, or if there are fewer banks, and they are gun shy because of the nearly going bankrupt, or many of them having gone bankrupt, then you can imagine that there will be no longer an easy access to credit as there is in 2018. There won't be 30-year mortgages. There won't be 2% interest on 5-year fixed terms. There won't be 0% down and CMHC insurance. So it's going to be impossible to buy a home with deferred debt purchase. You're going to have cash or nothing at all. So the housing market will fall apart, at least from its current craziness. And at a time when historically, there are instances in America where 1,000 ounces of silver or 500 ounces of silver, depending where you are, will buy you a home. So again, I don't think about this in fiat value. I think about each of these as storing my wealth for a time where perhaps the banking system, the modern economic system fails. And if that worst case scenario happens, and I don't wish it to, but if it happens, I want to be prepared. That's what this is about. And I really think that's a logical stance to take. I know that it might sound crazy because we've lived our entire lives with the banks, existing and thriving, with mortgages never being a problem, and with all of the doom and gloom I'm proposing not being an issue. But just because it hasn't happened in our lives doesn't mean it hasn't happened. The Great Depression is, less than 100 years ago. And, people starving in the streets and, hunting wild birds to stay alive. Like, I don't want that for my family and those that I love and I serve. So that's part of this. What do you guys think? Do you stack? What do you stack? Which retailers do you use? Do you have any questions about where I'm getting it from? Prices I paid? Any comments on the coins I have? Or my thoughts on the banking system or the fiat failure that I'm suggesting about or anticipating, I guess. And yeah, guys, thanks so much for your time and attention. I hope you have an awesome day. And like and subscribe. Really appreciate all you guys' support. Take care. Bye for now.